Okay guys, Mike here, Dezaras Prime. Sorry, my voice cracked then. Welcome back to part 3 of this tutorial on how to create GTA Online or 5 Machinima using the Rockstar Video Editor. Now, first thing you need to do for this, because we're at the editing stage now, we've done the recording, we've done the character creation and stuff like that, you need to leave GTA Online. Now, I do want to point out, because I've just realised this, if anyone's like, well, you're not really covering everything, I'm covering what I can with the Rockstar Video Editor. What I'll do afterwards is, once I've got all the recorded footage, I will transfer that and I will do the voice work and do the music and the score and that afterwards as standard. This is just using the tools that Rockstar Video Editor provides you. Okay, so once you hit story mode again, just pause it, go across to Rockstar Editor. You will enter in and then create new project. Now, you remember in the last piece I mentioned that you can externally record the bits where he goes in and out of the buildings and stuff like that. You can't use those in here, so you would have to add those independently in Windows Movie Maker or Hit Film or whatever editing software you use. So you got your clip management, which is here, and they're all dated as well. These are all the January 8th clips. These are the ones I did today. The clips are at sea. This clip will not allow camera edits in the Rockstar Editor. This clip contains gameplay captured in first-person view, so you will not allow camera edits in the Rockstar Editor. Forgot to mention that. Doesn't let you do first-person. I don't recall going first-person in that. But, you know, whatever. So they're the things I recorded in-game. You can also do by name, by size, created, favorited, used in project, created by others, favorites. You can download other people's stuff. I don't, I just stick to my own. You got your video gallery. I haven't exported any videos yet. Now here's the thing. When you export, it goes in a lower resolution. I think it's 720, that one, 12 by 720, 1280 or something like that. Might be lower, not sure. So I don't export my videos. There's tutorials, visit Rockstar Social Club, games and all that bollocks. Exit, you know what that means. Director mode I'm not going to cover. Load project, you can load any older projects. Treasure hunt, that was the one I was on about before, project 1. As I was saying, exporting, I don't export because I don't want there to be a difference in video quality varying. If you've seen Transformers the last night, you'll know what I mean, when sometimes you've got borders and sometimes you haven't. Or to use a GTA comparison, there's a machinima I watched when I was first starting out doing this, called Dieborn, and it's a really good machinima. You should check it out. Google GTA Dieborn machinima. I can't remember the name of the guy who created it, I'm sorry, but there was, I didn't notice this myself, but there were comments saying, oh well, there was different frame rate resolutions and stuff, it kept dropping down. What I do is basically just do a full screen preview, and I'll record it externally using the share button. Double tap share, go full screen preview, click in your right analog stick and it gets rid of all the menu bollocks, and then you've got like the higher resolution footage to be used as if you'd exported it. I'll get to that in more detail in a bit. God, I've been talking for so long, my voice is starting to go, so sorry about this. We're going to go create new project. Yes, I do. So you'll add clip. So we will start with the first clip and we will put that in there. Now you can duplicate the clips, you can duplicate certain effects, but they only work within that same clip. We'll get to that in a bit. It's just loading at the minute. Another thing as well, when you are recording the footage, when you've finished it all, you will have that Rockstar Editor thing in between clips. So you've got R1 to cycle, R1 L1 to cycle. That will take you to the beginning. That's the beginning. Hold it down. It should work. It isn't working. Drag, hold. Don't know why it isn't working. Ah, there we are, see. Oh, I'm using the wrong stick, that's why. Yeah, right stick, sorry. If you hold down R1 or L1, you can scrub. So you can choose different start and end points. So maybe I want to start there. And then just tap L1 or R1. Hold it down again, because it takes you to the last point. And I can completely avoid that embarrassing run over that bastard part. Yeah, not going to do that though. I'm going to keep it all in, including that part, and then tap it to go back to the beginning, and then scrub it that way by holding R1 or L1 and just using your right analog stick. You could scrub fine using the D-pad, so you notice it goes slower. And then right analog does a much quicker scrub. Now you can only do start and end points with this. You can't go to the middle and cut a piece out and then carry on as is. You would have to I don't think you can anyway. Let's try that. No. Alright, so we're going to go through, and to it's R2 to play. You're probably seeing all this stuff at the bottom of the screen. R2 to play. Or alternatively, just use your stick, right analog stick, without holding L1 or R1, and it'll take you through to that point. Let's put a marker there, shall we? And then what we'll do is put a marker there. Now that doesn't scrub it, it only takes it back to there. So we'll delete that marker and delete that marker. Triangle to delete markers. Okay. Push your big button in the middle to save it, and then what we'll do, you've got your various options here. You've got your cameras, which we'll get to in a minute because that's the crucial thing. Depth of field, focus, default, custom, none, which will, I think, keep everything in focus. You've got your intensity, so I never bother with depth of field, so so the trees are changing in the background. They're going greener, or it might just be me. So I'm going to leave that at 50%. Custom, that's blurring it out even more, and then 0. Automatic, manual, focus distance. Honestly, I've never really tried this before, the whole depth of field stuff, so I'm going to set that back to default. And then you've got your effects, you got your filters. This I know about because I've used this a couple of times. Your different filter, that's like basically when you're high, kind of looks like grainy TV footage. All these nice different filters. Quite like that one. That almost looks 3D, doesn't it? This is the one I use for when I'm recording the When Bastard Are Twats, the construction site scene. And then you've got filter intensity. I dropped that down to 50%. I think it was 50% or 35. It was like one of the lower ones, just so you could see some of the grain on the screen, but still show some colour. You can drop it down however you like. You could have none. You could have it maxed out, and then you've got your saturation, which will add the colour again. Looks a bit garish though, so I'll leave that. Oh, you can go minus as well. So contrast. Is it brighter or darker? Bright, well, yeah, you think this was, but contrast looked like it were doing the same. And so you can go completely. And the vignette is the black border type thing around there. I don't get why that goes to minus, because once 0 comes, it's off the screen, isn't it? Or not as far, but yeah. I don't see the point in having a minus option for the vignette, because if you don't want a vignette, then you don't bother with a vignette. Then you've got your other Game Over Man, Divinity, Chop. I think Chop is, when you're in the story mode, you play as the dog for a bit and you shag another dog. I think that's like his view. Killer Clowns, black, no filter. Audio, you got sound effects. So you've got your various categories: crashes, explosions, miscellaneous, vehicle pass by, stingers, horror gore, horror animals, horror voices, horror miscellaneous. Let's try some horror voices. Creature 1. Not hearing anything, so we might. Let's put a creature, and then you've got your sound effects volume. Going down to 0 will turn down any sound effects volume. In theory. Let's go back to audio. Game sound effects volume. That might be the one. There you go. See? If I shut up for a minute, there's nothing. Okay. Back here, let's go back to audio, so let's put that back up, put that up. Dialogue volume, that'll turn down voices. It would sometimes it doesn't, like the woman in the motorcycle clubhouse from the last episode. She was still talking when I turned that down, so I had to turn down ambient volume just to shut her up. Music volume. If you've got music, then fair enough, but I haven't got any music in this at the minute, so that doesn't really come into it. Ambient volume, do you hear that? That was a scary noise, wasn't it? So score intensity, never really dealt with that before, so let's cycle across a little bit, and I'm just having a bit of fun here while I do this. Audio, let's go with horror voices, let's go with Creature 2, and then we'll cycle across a bit more, and we'll go Creature 3, and then we'll cycle across a bit more, and we'll throw in that female scream, shall we? Yeah. So little things like this, female scream too. See, this is helping me because I need a female scream at some point. Not telling you when. Let's go female scream 3. Yeah, that'll do. And then also what you've got is your speed. And if you notice, position underneath it, that's going back to the start, so you can set when these things start. Speed, you've got 50%, 35, 20, or 200%, so he isn't going fast, is he? Because you need to set this for each one. So where is it? If we go on speed, and then you'd need to set the speed for all of it. Okay, so let's take it back and just preview that. There you go, it's going at 200% speed. So we're going to take the speed off those, just for now. Just leave it at 100. And yeah, it's L1, R1 to cycle back and forth between your different markers. And triangle deletes the markers. But yeah, you've got your speeds at 5, 20, 35, 50, 100. It's weird like that. And you've got a thumbnail, which again I've never tried. Oh, apparently that's a thumbnail. And a transition, so you've got your fade in, none, fade in. But maybe if we go to this one, you got anchors. So I turn anchors off. Yeah, your transitions are start and end. You got fade out. That's all you got. So we're going to take the fade in. We'll leave the fading on. No, we won't, because we need to go to cameras. Right, so you've got game camera, free camera, preset front, preset rear, preset right, preset left, preset overhead, and that's it. You got your shake options, handheld cam, which you can increase the intensity as far as 10. You can do the shake speed. So if you go 10, I mean that's a bit mental, isn't it? So we're not going to do that. You've also got drunk. And you've got your shake speed, ground vibration. So you've got little different effects like this that you can throw in if you need to use them. Air turbulence, explosions, and none. We're going to go free cam for this. Okay, so you've got your option to look at target, player, or that person in the background there, or none. I leave it on none. Sometimes we'll go with look at target, and then we'll just play it and see what it does. No, because his move is not moving there, is he? So we're gonna go on none for that, and then we're gonna skip forward to where he starts moving. We'll go. See, here's the thing: you'll need to go free cam for, or whichever camera one you want to cycle through. You can't copy and paste camera angles, which kind of sucks. So let's go to this part, free camera, and we'll go look at target player, and then free camera here, and we'll look at target player. Okay, and then we'll play it. And then what it does is eventually it comes out of range. So, and it'll reset to a nearest default. So, let us go in. You've got move with target as well, which is player or that other person over there, I guess. We'll get to that in a set. We'll do that now, actually, when he starts moving. Where does he start moving? Right, so there. We'll put a marker in there, and we will go free camera. We will move with target. And now what you do is, you've got a blend mode, you've got a mount type, which is flexible. So we're going to carry on moving with target there. Alright, so you got flexible, which what flexible will do is, I'm going to come to that in a bit, I think, actually, because I've got better areas that I can cover that. So we're going to go edit camera, and you've got your zoom function, which is right trigger to zoom in, left trigger to zoom out. I usually keep it at 0.9. R1 and L1 do your height. So let's have a look, shall we? And there's something I forgot to mention in the recording part. Now, when you're recording, it's always best to record from the back, I find, because if you notice, he's standing quite rigidly. However, when you're recording, if you push your stick down a little bit, so you're looking more at the ground, his head will move. Go left or right, his head will move left or right. Doesn't work as well from the front. He'll pretty much just stay like that. So it's best to always record from the back. I forgot to mention this in the last bit, and I'm sorry for that. So record from the back, and then you can get head movements and stuff like that. But for now, we're going to just look at it like that. So, and then at this point we will need to change the camera angle a little bit more. So let's go for let's have him looking up, making him look all imposing and shit. Give him a sense of height. And then he starts going to his car. Right, so when he's driving, we'll take it from there, and I'll do this free camera. This move with target flexible. Okay, so we're going to edit the camera, and we're going to have it so we're looking at him from there. Okay, so if you watch it, if you notice it's moving, it's going around, and the camera is on a flexible, staying with the target, but it's not holding the position that I initially set, which is nice if you don't want to go in and re-change every angle. If you just want a nice little driving thing and the camera, yeah, oops, yeah, it works for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that, and we're going to move on to the next clip. And to do that, right, so it's saved, I push the middle button in, it's saved, you just back out. Yes, you want to return to the timeline. And then also what you've got here is ambient tracks, so you can add different sound effects like thunderstorms, light rain and wind, heavy rain and wind, environment noises. Again, I've never really used these. See, I'm learning as we go along. Fire. Horror drones.